What's up, guys? AverageKiwiGuy here, and today we're going to talk about Rogue One because I've seen it twice in the past 24 hours. I went to see the midnight screening, and I got to see it again today. Two different groups of friends, so they all want to see it. So I felt like, yeah, I've seen this movie enough to sort of give my reaction to it. This is going to be a non-spoiler video, so don't worry about it if you haven't seen the movie. I'm not going to spoil anything, none of the major plot points or anything like that. Only the things that we've seen in trailers and stuff will be anything that I mention. I will try to. um, I'll do a spoiler video later on where I'll discuss things that are more story heavy and things like that. So keep an eye out for that one. Right. So, quick tip for those of you who are going to go see this movie. Do not go into this movie thinking that it's part of one of the main, like the main story episodes of Star Wars, because it's not. It's not. It is a side story, and it feels like a side story because it doesn't have the bulk behind it that the main story has. It doesn't have all the lore and all the built-up stuff behind it. It's a side story. It leads into the main story. But that doesn't mean it's not good. I loved Rogue One. I love Rogue One. Rogue One is fantastic. I'm glad that I get to see it again for another 2 times in the next 2 days. So I think it's a fantastic movie. It really is. It's so great to watch. But there are some people that are like, oh, but it's not quite the same as the originals. Where was this? Where was that? It's not the same. It's a standalone movie. It's something that blends into the main story, but it's there to accompany the main story. It's not to be a part of it. It's to sort of tell a story that is something that the main story will never tell because it's got other things to do and it's got to progress the timeline and it's got to progress the stories of the Skywalker family and all the stuff that going on in the galaxy. This was like, it's like we saw one battle, and the main story is the entire war. So this is just one battle, essentially. But it's still good. It's still awesome to watch. It really is. So obviously I liked the movie. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was really good. Character-wise, I think I like the characters a lot. Jin's a good lead. She was a good lead. I felt there was some scenes she was a little bit lacking, but she made up for it in others. So I was quite happy with Felicity Jones's performance. She was really good. She's another cool character to add to the Star Wars sort of Star Wars roster of cool characters. And then all the guys with her. Cassian, he's a good sort of co-male lead, I guess you would say. I felt Jin carried him a lot. Jin was someone who carried him a lot. So, but my 3 favorites, I guess you could say, 3 favorites were K2, which is the droid. Droid is awesome. He's hilarious. He has some witty lines every so often. He's a perfect fit for this movie. He really is. He's not too he's not cutesy like BB-8, and he's not not like C-3PO. He's kind of like a dark version of C-3PO that can fight. The way I'd explain him is, if you've seen the Clone Wars animated series, there's the strategic robots, the sort of general droids. It's them, but like he's upgraded, and he's got an attitude on him. So he's really cool. He says the first thing that comes into his head. It's real. He's good. He's awesome. And then my 2 other favorites are Chirrut, which is Donnie Yen's character, so the guy with the staff who beats up all those stormtroopers and stuff. He's pretty much a badass. He's very spiritual. He's very much like I'm I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. That's the sort of thing he says all the time. He believes the Force guides everything. That everything's meant to be because the Force deems it. It's very much that way. He's not. He's not a Force sensitive, but I believe he is a part of the Church of the Force, which are the sort of like people that believe in the Force, but they're not Jedi. But they sort of, it's their religion. They believe in that sort of thing. So he's very cool. He's very cool. He kind of acts like a moral compass to the crew, to the group, I guess. And he sort of guides people in certain ways. He's very good. Then his sort of best buddy, his sort of brother in arms, I guess you could say, Baze. Baze is very cool. He's kind of like a gritty old commando. He's got this awesome kind of like minigun blaster. He's got the cylinder on his back, which I'm pretty sure is the power unit for it. And he's just like, boop, 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 boop. He just charges it and then and wipes out entire squads. It's so cool looking. Very, very good. And he has some good banter between him and Chirrut, and you know, he's just a gritty dude, and he's really cool. Saul Guerrero, Forrest Whitaker played, was a little loopy. He's a little loopy. He's a bit of a weird character. I don't know. He grew on me the second time I watched him. The second time, because I kind of expected it. But he's just very... He's an interesting character. He made me, like... I came back from the second viewing and I watched the Clone Wars series when he's in the, when he's in it. The Onderon, like, 4-parter, I think it is. I watched that to sort of see Saul Guerrero and how he sort of came through. He's an interesting character. He's not in it for long, but he's very cool. He's very cool. I like him a lot. Well, I don't like him a lot. He's just interesting, I guess you could say. So yeah, and there's plenty of others. There's a few surprises. There's Darth Vader. Obviously, we knew Darth Vader was in, but there's a few surprises. There are a lot of little characters from, especially episode 4. There's even a couple from other sources and things. There's a lot of hints to other Star Wars things, whether it's main story or other things. They're all through the movie, so whenever you're listening, especially to background noises, things like that, keep an eye out, keep an ear out, you'll hear them. And it's kind of cool to hear. If you're a Star Wars fan, if you're interested in expanded universe stuff, especially the new canon stuff, very good. Very good. Galen and Lyra Urso, they're not in it for long. So this is Jyn's parents. Galen plays a very pivotal role in everything, and he answers a lot of questions. But Mads Mikkelsen, he always does a pretty darn good job. He always does a pretty darn good job, whatever he does. So he was a good character. He was well played. He just wasn't in it for much. And I do have an issue with Lyra. So go and see the spoilers once you do see the movie. See if you guys can spot it too. It's in my spoilers video, so go check that out. Yeah, they served the purpose. Really, that was what I would say with them. But like, I guess the only other person to talk about is director Kuruk. Is it Kuruk? Churuk, one of the two. He is an Imperial that's just all about ambition. His ambition is the thing that drives his life. everything he sees, everything he looks at, everyone he meets, all he thinks about is how are you going to help me get further in the Empire. And like he just, he has this target of where he wants to go, and the Death Star is what will propel him forward. Sort of, know what I mean? And he will do anything to get himself ahead, and to get a higher status and things like that. He's a solid villain. I'd say he's a solid villain. Definitely not the best villains we've had in Star Wars, but he's a good villain for a side story. I'll tell you that. That's what I'd say he is. He's a good villain for a side story. I think that's the best way to put him. But yeah, he's just a very ambitious Imperial who will do anything to keep his rank growing, I guess you could say. But yeah, you see so many new worlds in this movie. There's so many very interesting worlds. We've already seen Jeddah, the desert planet, the one with the Jedi things everywhere. That's a really cool planet to see. The beach planet, Scarif, very cool. You sort of see the technology that the Empire has, and you kind of feel like, okay, because for a while, because of the age of the original movies, it always kind of felt like they took a step back in time compared to the prequels, like technology wise, because it doesn't look brand new. You see like how far technology sort of came because of the Empire, and where all that technology went, sort of thing. But yeah, just seeing all the old stuff doing cool things, like X-Wings doing just wicked like maneuvers and stuff, like, because you saw it a bit in Force Awakens, so you get to see more of it this time, but it's the old versions. It's the old original X-Wings, and that's so cool because I grew up watching them, and I always wanted to, you always had like an X-Wing and you're like, whoosh. It's really cool to see. It's cool to see the old Star Destroyers, seeing all the expanded universe stuff like U-Wings and TIE Strikers and stuff like that. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's really good. The effects are great. A lot of the imagery, Star Wars imagery is getting really good. Like, there was a lot of good imagery in Force Awakens, like especially like Han Solo's and Han and Ben Solo's scene together, with the way they use light and things like that and shadow. They do it really good here with this one as well. They don't have any grand scenes like that. There is one they do like very well, but I think scale is a big thing in this one. Scale is huge, and it's awesome to see. And you finally see where the Death Star stacks up compared to a planet, and how it sort of, what it looks like in orbit of things. It's very cool. Very cool. And yeah, it's a great movie to watch. If you're not such a fan of Star Wars, this could actually be a good movie for you. It really is, because it's far enough away from the original story. Because there's no Jedi. They talk about the Force a little bit, but you never see... Well, you do see some Force stuff, but it's cool to watch. Yeah, there's like no Jedi stuff. There's no Skywalker stuff, well, technically. It's all very military, kind of war-like, but it's got a lot of soul to it, and it's got a good story and things like that. The story's good. The story's solid. It answers a lot of questions. It adds a lot more... I think it adds a lot more weight to Episode 4. Especially when you know what they went through to get those plans. It's like, okay, now I can see why they're so desperate to have those plans, and it adds a lot of substance to it now. So it's a great complementing movie to the main story, and I'm very excited for the next ones. Like the Han Solo one, the Boba Fett one, things like that. I'm very excited, and to see where they go with all these things is going to be very cool. Very, very, very cool. But yeah, so that's it. I give it an 8 out of 10. It's not nowhere near perfect. There's some pacing issues at the start. I'd say the first 20 minutes maybe has some pacing issues, but it settles down. It starts to plot along quite nicely after that. It's a good length movie. You don't feel like you're in there too long. You don't feel like you're in there not enough. It has it has a satisfying ending to it, I would say. It's definitely, let's just say it's definitely not a happy story. It's not a happy story. But yeah, so if you have seen the movie and you want to sort of hear my thoughts about some spoilery stuff, there will be a spoiler video coming up, so go check that out. I'm sure the link will be around somewhere. I will pop it in there, probably in the description, and it'll be on the end, at the end here. I am AverageKiwiGuy. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel and watching this vid on Star Wars Rogue One. I am a huge Star Wars fan, so anything Star Wars is amazing, is awesome. I got my helmets behind me here. I'm definitely going to go get a U-Wing toy, because that U-Wing is awesome to watch. Yeah, so thank you for stopping by. Subscribe, like, dislike, very much appreciate it. You guys have been great. I'm a Twitch streamer, so go check me out at twitch.tv/AverageKiwiGuy07. So we stream pretty much every week. Go check it out. We're probably doing a birthday stream. It's my birthday on Sunday here, so it'll be Saturday for most of you, which would be cool. I might get some drinks and we'll just chill and have a good time. I am on Twitter as well, AverageKiwiGuy there. Anything new, random thoughts and stuff, go up there. Go check me out there, and Instagram too. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. I hope you guys have a good day, good night, wherever you are in the world. Peace.